Hmm. Okay, so let's go back to the previous sloka. So quickly, we'll just understand the main crux of it. So what is the main point of the two slokas? Sloka number two.
The second one.
Atyahara prayatasta prajalpa niyamagraha janasangascha laullalyam sadvir bhaktir vinashati. So what is that? One's devotional service is spoiled with these six main factors. Okay, what are the six? Over endeavoring, first point. Second, unnecessarily talking, and just following for the sake of following the scriptures, just for the sake of following the principles, and then associating with worldly minds. So, and last is being greedy. So all six is what is the main essence is first word Prabhupada is making very nice. Okay, what is the first thing? Human life is meant for plain living and high thinking, simple living and high thinking. Okay, this is the first thing. So the entire slokas purport, Prabhupada gives a very important message that how well or what is that we are supposed to do and supposed not to do along with the materialistic people, more from materialistic angle perspective. Okay, that is where we see Prabhupada bringing about Prajalpa, talking about what is more important about what to whom we should be focusing, and not like just like no spending time on crossword puzzles or working this one that. So Jana Sangasya is very important on all the 6 points also, because all the 6 points are like similar to our the Kama Krodha Lobha Madam Acharya, but more and more from a karmi perspective, if we want to get into a normal materialistic life, then our Krishna consciousness will be completely affected. So Prabhupada is making this will continues to simply waste our life, waste our uh, precious life. Okay, so that is where very importantly Atyahara is also every Sanskrit word that Prabhupada mentioned through Rupa Goswami's understanding. Prabhupada makes it very clear that who's falling under which category of Atyahara. Mostly whomsoever under the Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, that economic development, all of them are falling under the Atyahara category only. So there's no doubt about it. Whomsoever trying to get this, that, and then they want to accumulate, that is also falling under this one. And Niyama Agraha. Niyama means following, and Niyama Agraha means one who is not following, one who fail to accept. So just for the sake of following, they will do, just for some specific purposes they will follow, but they will never know the actual meaning or actual purpose of it. Okay, just for their own self interest, self motivation of enjoyment of sense gratification, they'll have motivation, but it will be more towards self enjoyment only. That is why it is niyama agraha is very important. Okay, I think even Prabhupada is making even the mukti kami, siddhi kami, all are in a way they're all kamis only. Okay, so I think this point is very clear, where we can see Prabhupada making a detailed understanding that we should never get into these kinds of things. So, what is that? Whenever we try to grow in spiritual life, something comes up in between. Then we have to remember this sloga and see where we are. Are we really on the line, or we are just falling into the trap? Then we have to be specifically interested. Okay. And the last portion is very powerful. Prabhupada also makes it very nice. This Krishna conscious movement offers a spiritual community that can bring about a peaceful condition in the world. Okay, so what we are trying to do is, already we are in a way we are fully conscious state, but how are we trying to bring or awaken that particular consciousness and then try to enable it? So from the first sloka and preface, what we understand, we have to utilize our human life correctly. We have to focus our spiritual life in the perfect way. Our ultimate goal of life is to awaken our Krishna consciousness and follow that. Okay, that's the first thing. Second is about how do I control my senses, right? So that all the main senses and then all the vegams or all the urges to be controlled. And how to control is to realize through to that supreme personality, we have to do saranagati. We have to take shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord. While we taking shelter of the Lord, what is that? Third sloka is giving that option that we should follow these particular steps, and we should never indulge in other activities. So that in a way, progressively you see between first sloka to second sloka to third sloka, you will clearly understand what is the importance. Okay, third sloka is what? What is that? That you have to have it. So second is what you should not do. Third is what you are supposed to do. उत्साह निश्चय धैर्य तत्तत् कर्म प्रवर्तनात् संगत्याग सतोवृतः shadbir bhakti pradishyati. So the previous one is shadbir bhakti vinashyati. That will all go away. That will bring down your bhakti. Ultimately, our bhakti should be stable. Our bhakti should be in a steep line. It should keep growing. So to grow, these are the things important. To fall down, the other number sloka number 2. So both are actually important. So one is we have to be careful. Other one is also to be careful. And how do we maintain that particular thing? Okay. So, for example, if you go to a doctor will give you two kinds of medicines. One medicine is to cure, which will be very bitter and which will be very this one also because we have some disease. The other medicine is more of energy giving ones, more of vitamins, more of protein, whatever be it, so that you will become you will be healthy. So in that way, if you see both sloka number 2 and sloka number 3, both are essential. Like sloka number 3 is more of what is healthy, what is that is required, how do I eat, ensure that all my energy is always in the right track, spiritual potency is always good. So we have to maintain that enthusiasm. We have to give up the association of non-devotees. We have to follow the Acharya's foot principle. These are all the healthy signs. So we have to give away the non-healthy signs. That is why we have to see the difference between these two slokas. Okay. So almost you have completed the purports, or we are still pending with purports?
The third sloka purport we have to complete, Prabhuji.
Okay. Till what stage you have completed? Let me see. Wait, then continue. Then let's continue another 5-10 minutes. We'll finish this. Yeah.
Anuj Prabhu, from here.
I'll read. Okay.
Is it from here, Prabhu? Am I showing the right one?
I'm actually seeing from my phone. The last line was Krishna will. The
Yeah.
devotee thinks that Krishna will surely protect me and give me help for successful execution of devotional service. This is called confidence. There.
Yes. And here, please.
As already explained, one should not be idle but should be very enthusiastic about executing the regulative principles. Tat tat karma pravartana. Neglect of the regulative principles will destroy devotional service. In this Krishna consciousness movement, there are four basic regulative principles forbidding illicit sex, meat eating, gambling, and intoxication. A devotee must be very enthusiastic about following these principles. If he becomes slack in following any of them, his progress will certainly be checked.
Recorded.
Srila Rupa Goswami therefore recommends Tatat Karma Pravartanat. One must strictly follow the regulative principles of Vaidhi Bhakti. In addition to these four prohibitions, Yama, there are positive regulation principles, Niyama, such as the daily chanting of 16 rounds on Japamala beads. These regulative activities must be faithfully performed with enthusiasm. This is called Tatat Karma Pravartana or varied engagement in devotional service. Hare Krishna. Anyone else want to read?
Furthermore, in order to be successful in devotional service, one must give up the association of undesirable people. This includes karmis, jnanis, yogis, and other non-devotees. Once Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was asked by one of his householder devotees about the general principle of Vaishnavism, as well as the general routine activities of the Vaishnava. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately replied, Asat Sangatyaga, that is Vaishnava Acharya, Achar. Characteristically, a Vaishnava is one who gives up the association of worldly people or non-devotees. Srila Narottama Das Thakur has therefore recommended Tandera Charana Sevi Bhakta Vasa. One has to live in the company of pure devotees and execute the regulative principles laid down by the previous acharyas. The six Goswamis, namely Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatana Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami, Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, Sri Gopal Bhatta Goswami, and Sri Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. If one lives in the association of devotees, there is little chance of associating with non-devotees. The International Society for Krishna Consciousness is opening many centers just to invite people to live in the company of devotees and practice the regulative principles of spiritual life. Devotional service means transcendental activities. On the transcendental platform, there is no contamination by the three modes of material nature. This is called Vishuddha Sattva, the platform of pure goodness or goodness free from the contamination by the qualities of passion and ignorance. In this Krishna consciousness movement, we require everyone to rise early in the morning by 4 a.m. and attend Mangalarati or morning worship, then read Srimad Bhagavatam, perform Kirtana, and so forth. Thus, we hold continuous activities in devotional service 24 hours daily. This is called Satovritti, or following in the footsteps of the previous acharyas who expertly filled every moment of time with Krishna consciousness activities. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hello, Guru.
Yeah, yeah, Mataji, continue. Mataji. Somebody continuing?
If one strictly follows the advice given in this verse by Srila Rupa Goswami, namely being enthusiastically, being confident, being patient, giving up the association of unwanted persons, following the regulative principles and remaining in the association of devotees, one is sure to advance in the devotional service. In this regard, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur remarks that the cultivation of the knowledge by philosophical speculation, the collection of mundane opulence by the advancement of fruitive activities, and the desire for yoga siddhis, material perfections, are all contrary to the principles of the devotional service. One has to become thoroughly callous to such a non-permanent activities and turn his intention instead to the regulative principles of devotional service. According to Bhagavad Gita 2.69, Yanisha Sarva Bhutanam Tasyam Jagrati Samyami Yasyam Jagrati Bhutani Sa Nisa Pasyato Manha. What is night for all being is the name time of awakening for the self-control, and the time of awakening for all beings is night for the introspective sage. Engagement in the devotional service of the Lord is the life and the soul of the living entity. It is desired goal and the supreme perfection of human life. One has to become confident about this, and one also has to be confident that all activities other than devotional service, such as mental speculation, fruitive work, or the mystic endeavor, will never yield any enduring benefit. Complete confidence in the path of devotional service will enable one to attain his desired goal. But attempting to follow other paths will only succeed in the making one restless. In the 10th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is stated, one must be calmly convinced that those who have given up devotional service to engage in severe austerities for other purposes are not purified in their minds, despite their advanced austerities, because they have no information of transcendental loving service of the Lord.
Thank you, Mataji. So ultimately, bhakti means this is the line transcendental loving service of the Lord. Even though we try to do austerity, we try to do this and all, but our mind it is not purified. Does not really help. And then bhakti means reciprocation. Bhakti means the transcendent loving service. It is not that I will perform austerity, I will try to do dhanam, I will try to do yajna, I'll try to do tapasya. All those things, if it doesn't culminate into the loving service, then it is becomes pranashit. It's completely waste. Okay, very nice point. See this. If you go through the purport itself, we can clearly understand the importance of what Rupa Goswami, what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what the Goswamis, and even Prabhupada also bringing out so nicely, and then making us understand the importance of Krishna consciousness movement, importance of bhakti, importance of why all the regulative principles, importance of following the sadhana, performing Mangalarti, performing all the activities, chanting, everything is towards that particular goal. What is that loving goal? Loving service to Krishna. Okay. Yeah. Okay, continue with it. We finish this. See, it is all self-explanatory. Okay, I don't want to go into very specific details. Yeah.
Shall I read, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu.
It is further stated in 7th canto, although mental speculators and fruitive actors may perform great authorities and penances, they will still fall down because they do not have information about the lotus feet of the Lord. The devotees of the Lord, however, never fall down. In Bhagavad Gita 9:31, the Supreme Personality of Godhead assures Arjuna, Kaunteya Prajaniti Nami Bhakta Pranasyati. O son of Kunti, declare it boldly that my devotees never perish. Again in Bhagavad Gita 2.40, Krishna says, Nibahi karma krama nasositi patyavayo na vidyate salpamapi yasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. In this endeavor, there is no loss or diminution, and a little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. Devotional service is so pure and perfect that once having begun, one is forcefully dragged to ultimate success. Sometimes a person will give up ordinary material engagements and out of sentiment take shelter of the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord and thus begin the preliminary execution of devotional service. Even if such an immature devotee falls down, there is no loss on his part. On the other hand, what is gain of one who execute the prescribed duties according to this varna ashrama, but does not take to devotional service? Although a fallen devotee may take his next birth in a low family, his devotional service will nonetheless resume from where it left off. Devotional service is ahikti pratihata. That is not an effect. That is not the effect of any mundane cause, nor can it be terminated by any mundane cause or permanently curtailed by any material interruption. Therefore, a devotee should be confident about his engagement and should not be very interested in the activities of karmis, jnanis, and yogis. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Very nice, right? Ahituki apritihata. So it is not just for normal any kind of this one. It is more from spiritual perspective. Okay. Devotional service is so pure and perfect that one has to begin. One is forcibly dragged to success. So this is very nice, right? So we are forcibly dragged. So definitely we will have. So it will undergo some difficulties, but definitely the success is for sure. Okay, continue. Last paragraph. We'll finish at.
There are certainly many good qualities among intuitive actors, philosophical speculators, and mystic yogis, but all good qualities automatically develop in the character of a devotee. No extraneous endeavor is needed, as confirmed by Srimad Bhagavatam 5.18.12. All the good qualities of the demigods manifest progressively in one who has developed pure devotional service. Because a devotee is not interested in any material activity, he does not become materially contaminated. He is immediately situated on the platform of transcendental life. However, one who engages in mundane activity, be he a so-called jnani, yogi, karmi, philanthropist, nationalist, or whatever, cannot attain the higher stage of Mahatma. He is called a Duratma or cripple-minded person. According to Bhagavad Gita 9.13, Mahatmanastu mam prarthana evam prakritim ashrita bhajante ananyamanaso jnatva bhutadim avyayam. O son of Partha, those who are not deluded great souls or under the protection of divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible. Since all the devotees of God are under the protection of His supreme potency, they should not deviate from the path of devotional service and take to the path of the karmi or yogi. This is उत्साहन उत्साहन निश्चयात् धैर्यात् तत्तत् कर्म प्रवर्तनात् enthusiastically executing the regulative activities of devotional service with patience and confidence. In this way, one can advance in devotional service without
Okay, so we'll just quickly wrap it up. I'll just share Mataji. One second. So what did we see in the sloka number 2? Just a quick mind map. Atyahara. What is Atyahara? Sorry, wait. I'll zoom it. What is Atyahara? Atyahara is nothing but collecting more than what is required. So it can be anything. Okay, over acceptance, over getting more from a over endeavor to acquire knowledge, over accepting the material prosperity. It is like bhukti kami, mukti kami, siddhi. So bhukti kami is what? Bhukti, mukti, siddhi kami. Bhukti kami is what? Bhukti kami is nothing but all materialistic possession. Mukti kami means somebody will try to endeavor so much of thing only for liberation, and that is also not big. Siddhi means performing all kinds of dhyan yoga, this one to attain that siddhi. So Prabhupada gives a lot of specific examples, analogies, stories also how that one particular this this Mr. Kailash story or other stories where it will be like material entanglement that will keep on acquiring somebody. Okay, very nice. That is first one. Okay, what is the second one? Atyahara. Why it is going to? Okay. Everyone requires possessions for the maintenance of the body, but one should not collect more than necessary. And that too, if you go to any this shopping mall or something, by default, it is so attractive that you just keep buying anything, and then after some time you realize you already have that, right? So that is one. Second is prayasa. Okay, prayasa means activity or some kind of an activity that is indulged by forceful nature. Okay, so indulged by forceful nature is called prayasa. Normal activity is different, but indulged by forceful nature, like no, you're impelled or compelled to do that activity. So that will come from atyahara. Okay, so very important. Normal activity versus prayasa. Prayasa means you have to do little more extra. I have to do that, I have to somehow. So that will come because of your desire, because of the attachment, or because of the atyahara portion. Okay, so if our endeavor prayer is not to inquire about the Lord, then it is simply waste. Okay, and then misuse of intelligence. We all know how do we properly misuse our intelligence. Second, third is prajalpa. Prajalpa, I think mostly Prabhupada also gave a very nice understanding. Unnecessary talking, the croaking toad example, and interesting. This also we saw in the first sloka itself, right? Vacho vegam, that jigva vegam. So jigva vegam is about controlling the speech, right? That is number 3. Number 4, all about niyama agraha. Okay, there are two: agraha. Okay, so utilitarian or negative. So utilitarian is whenever is required they will utilize, but mostly some of them will just try to neglectful. They'll just try to neglect. So both are actually very very dangerous. Okay, so that is what niyama agraha. So that also we saw. Number 4. Number 5 is Janasangha is very good. We have established ISKCON to give people an opportunity to associate. Okay, so my Guru Maharaj used to say, whatever be the fight, whatever there'll be some misunderstanding, there'll be some this one, but don't leave Krishna consciousness. Okay, that's what Prabhupada will say. That's what my Guru Maharaj also will say. There will be some issue, some here and there, something will happen because because it is we are conditioned, and then there will be some conditioned nature, and everything smooth means we will never be in this material world, right? So that is why very importantly we have to continue to be in ISKCON or continue to follow Krishna consciousness in whatever possible. Okay, number 4. Number 5. Number 6 is Laulyam. Okay, Laulyam is very important. The same Laulyam in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Rupa Goswami will emphasize on Lalasa and Lalasamayi. That is more of greed with spiritual perspective. You should have greed, but that greed is more to please Krishna. This Laulyam is more of because of the Jana Sangha. Because we get more attached to people, I'm getting more greedy, right? So I want to get more material benefit, more this one, more mystic purpose, more this one. So all 6, if you see, it is all very tightly interconnected, but we should be very careful that not to entangle into this 6. Okay, that is what we have seen in sloka number 2. Sloka number 3 is all about what we are supposed to do. One is following the utsaha attitude. Second is dhairya, then patience. Number 3, taddat pravartana. So we have to ensure that follow the regulative principles and then abandon non-association. So we have to remove, or we have to get out of. So this, if you see in 2 aspects, number 5 is repeated both in both the slokas, right? Actually, if in one sense, if you see, it should say take more association of devotees, right? So one is this utsaha, dhairya, nishya. So all are kind of positive ones, but number 5 is looking like more of why should Rupa Goswami put it in this way? Abandon an association of love. Instead, he could say increase association of devotees, right? He could have told that, right? Why? Any thought?
First, we should abandon the wrong association. Then
That is what he had told in the second sloka, right? See, if you see from a sloka perspective, the sloka number 2 is all about negative ones. You should not do, you should not do, you should not do. And here it is actually you should do, right? But within that you should do, number 5 looks like something kind of oxymoron, some kind of positive, negative way of putting it, right? Any thoughts?
we should positively take that action of dissociating.
Right. Okay.
By giving up the association of non-devotees, I think we will not be putting the the fire that we are trying to ignite. By taking association of non-devotees, it will
See,
be
more or
like
less, this Janasangha is also same, right? More or less, association with worldly minded people, Janasangha is also the same like number 3 is, where is it? Number 3, sorry. Yeah. Number 3 is abandon association of non-devotees. Yes or no?
correct.
Okay, this is the homework. Correct, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is the homework, okay? So in the next class, before we get into sloka number 4, if you read through in between the lines what Prabhupada mentions in the purport between third and second, there's a very subtle understanding why it is again repeated. More or less, it is the same only. There's no big difference, but there is some specific emphasis given. Okay, very important emphasis. Try to find that emphasis. Okay, that is the clue I'm giving you.
Prabhu, actually, he reverse it. In text 2, he give positive. In text 3, he give negative. He actually reverse.
Yeah, correct. See, the text 2 is all negative only, right? Actually speaking, ensure you don't you don't do.
But there's one he say associate with worldly minded people. So that's positive.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you read through the purport, Prabhupada is giving that little bit hint. Okay, then you will clearly understand. Both, if you see from a normal perspective, both looks kind of same way, right? Okay, that is the homework. Try to read it again, then you'll easily get it. Okay, just if you just go through it, you'll be easily getting it. And why the emphasis also, again, in a way, both points are same, and then it gives a little more emphasis also. And following the footsteps. See, if you see good behavior, good attitude, endeavor with confidence, patience, these are all positive aspects. Following the acharya, it's all positive aspects. Okay, then it can be rephrased, or it can be put in a way where it take more association of devotees. He could have put it that way, but why he put it in this way? This is the question. But the answer is still there. Answer is there in the purport itself. Okay, fine. Okay, and following the Acharya's footsteps is very, very important. That also we have seen. And next 6 is a loving exchange. Okay, loving exchange that we will see. And walking the talk. This is all about. Then the next section we will go. We'll continue this little later. Maybe on Sunday again. Sunday morning 8 o'clock. Same.
Saturday morning.
Saturday morning 8 o'clock we will have.
So in a way, Prabhuji, this the second sloka and third sloka is something like niyam and yam, like yam and niyam kind of thing.
Yama, yeah, correct. Yama is what you have to follow. Niyama is also what you have to follow, but what you have to give up. So, okay, I think then we will stop here and continue on Saturday morning 8 o'clock.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
So use this mind map so that you will be easily able to take a. Usually, I will take a printout and keep it. So usually, you also just take a printout of keep it and then just keep going through it. So you will usually get this 11 slokas in your mind. Okay. Try to by heart the sloka also. These slokas are all. I think first 3 slokas or 4 slokas is for by hearting. Okay. So whatever that you are supposed to by heart from a test perceive also, it is very important. Okay. The utsaha nishya dhairya taddat karma pravatnat sangatyago sadvite sadvir bhakshat. The sangatyago is also very importantly emphasized. So we will continue. Okay. Hare Krishna. Shila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hari Bol Mataji.